Yo, what's good? Griffin13 here back in today, and today I want to talk about all the brand new cars coming to Forza Horizon 4 this upcoming series. I am so excited after watching that live stream. There are so many freaking amazing cars. I was just sitting there just mind blown. Every single one of the 9 brand new cars coming into the game has got me excited. But let's go ahead and start things off with the most peculiar car of them all. And that's a vehicle that we've known about for a very long time. We've known about this car since basically Forza came out, and that is the 2019 Ford Ranger Raptor. We even know about a special edition version of this car, which is the Ranger Raptor Ultimate Gaming Truck that AR12 Nick actually got to go on a camping trip with, and he was able to play Forza out in the middle of the woods with this thing. Honestly, a dope looking vehicle. Maybe we'll end up seeing it in Series 12, but there is no confirmation yet on when that vehicle will be making its debut. Then on top of this, it's kind of peculiar in how you're going to be getting this car, because unlike most brand new cars that are either put in the Forza Launch Shop or made available via a seasonal championship, or maybe even just gifted to you, how you're going to get this is kind of weird, and it's a first for Forza. They're taking a brand new car to the game, and they're just throwing it in the auto show for 50,000 credits, so anybody will be able to go and pick this up absolutely free, no DLC required, and buy this car for 50 grand. That's amazing. That is amazing. I can't wait to see how this car does on the ground. You already know me though, I'm a Chevy dude. I got a Silverado in real life. I almost bought a Colorado. So we're gonna have to see, how does the Ford Ranger Raptor hold up against the Colorado ZR2? Which is better? Unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to put my money on that Ranger Raptor though. I'm gonna have to put my money on the Ranger Raptor. We will see though. I'm gonna make a video on that. I promise. We're gonna have to see how those cars do. But right now, let's go and move on into the rest of the series. So starting things off with our series rewards, at 50% completion, you'll be receiving the 1926 Bugatti Type 35C. Now this car is very peculiar because, unlike most cars that rock a bunch of negative camber, you know, that hella flush lifestyle, this thing rocks a crap ton of positive camber, because apparently back in the day, it actually helped these cars drive a little bit better. And I'm gonna say this, that's horseshit. Because when I drove this car in Motorsport 7, this thing was like driving a limp noodle. It sucked to drive. I absolutely hated it. But on the positive, this thing does go for 10 million credits in the auto show. So it is a very expensive car that you're going to get absolutely free. But moving on into the 80% completion reward, we have a thing that ties directly into our brand new Horizon series, and that is the I Beat the Stig t-shirt. So you can probably guess what our new Horizon series is, but I'll talk about that here in a little bit. So then moving into the seasons, we have our first season, which is going to be Summer, which goes live this upcoming Thursday, July 4th. Or for those of you guys here in the States, of course, it is the 4th of July. It is American Independence Day. Our 50% completion reward is a piece of clothing. It is the Alien Morph suit. We're not going to talk about that. 80% completion reward is one of the rarest Forza Edition cars, though, being the Maserati MC12 Forza Edition. This thing is so rare basically because it is a car mastery reward on one of the most expensive cars in the game, being the Maserati 600S, which costs 6 million credits normally. Plus, on top of that, you gotta waste a bunch of skill points in car mastery to unlock this damn thing. So it's very expensive, it's very rare, but you'll have the opportunity to pick one up absolutely free starting this Thursday. Then we move into our seasonal playground games, where you can get a new wheel spin exclusive car, being the 1973 Pontiac Trans Am, so that is pretty dope. Then we have this weird set of Spotlight seasonal championships that all have these kind of weird codes at the start of it. So in summer we have the FS Spotlight, autumn FR Spotlight, winter we have the all-wheel drive Spotlight, and then in spring we have the MR Spotlight. But back to summer, you'll be able to pick up the Citroen DS3 Racing, which I believe is the second chance opportunity to go ahead and do so. It was very rare the first time around, so it is going to be a very nice reward card to pick up. Then finally we have Forza Italia Seasonal Championship, where you'll be able to pick up a cheap Ferrari 360 Challenge Stradale absolutely free. It's normally 200,000 credits in the auto show, but hey, it's a free Ferrari. Moving on into winter for our 50% completion reward, we have one of 2 brand new cars that'll be available this week. Starting things off, we have the 1996 Chevrolet Impala Supersport. This car was built as a direct competitor to the Ford Crown Victoria as a police car. So Forza has given this car the full police treatment, so you'll be able to throw the reds and blues on the roof and have a blast with it. Then we go into our 80% completion reward, which is the 1965 Pontiac GTO. This was available back in Series 7, and this is the second chance opportunity to go ahead and pick it up. Then we have our seasonal co-op trial event where you'll have the Mercedes-Benz X-Class. This is the second chance opportunity to pick it up, and our second pickup truck on top of that. Then we have the FR Spotlight Seasonal Championship, where you can pick up the BMW M3 GTR, of course, being famous for being from Need for Speed. Then we have the Sky is the Limit Seasonal Championship, where you can get the Nissan GTR LM, which is a wheel spin exclusive. Then finally we have our second brand new car coming in autumn, which is in McLaren Cup, where you'll be able to pick up the MP4-12C. Yes, the MP4 is finally back, and yes, the MP4 was not in Horizon 4 already. I know, my mind was blown a little bit too. I love the MP4-12Z, and really, it's kind of the start of the modern McLaren. Basically, every modern McLaren that's spawned has some kind of 12C blood running through it. You know, you have the 12C, the 720S, you've got the, what is it? Is it the 650L? Is that what they call it? You have the P1, the P1 GTR, the Senna. All of them spawn from the 12C, and that is pretty dope. Then we move on into winter, and our 50% completion reward is a brand new car as well. This time being the Koenigsegg CCX. The CCX is making its way back into Forza. If you guys remember back on Fortune Island, we got the CC8S. Well, this is basically the upgraded version of that, being the CCX. Honestly, cannot wait to do it, and this week will be called Koenigsegg Week because the 80% completion reward is none other than the Regera. So if you guys do not have a Regera already, this will be a great opportunity to pick it up. Try not to buy one until winter if you don't already have it. It's not an exclusive car or anything like that, but it does cost a lot of bank in order to buy. Then after that, we have our seasonal co-op trial event where we have our third pickup truck of the week, or not of the week, of the month, in the form of the Chevrolet Colorado ZR2. So if you didn't have a Colorado ZR2 to take against the Ford Ranger Raptor, you'll be able to pick one up in winter. Then we have the all-wheel drive Spotlight event, which will be having the Mercedes-Benz GT4 as the reward. If you guys don't remember, a couple of weeks ago, we actually had the Mercedes-Benz GT4, although I shouldn't say a couple weeks, it's actually a couple months. Time flies when you're having fun, my dudes. But the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT got a four-door version, and that is what this thing is. I really didn't like how it drove, though, when we were trying to race it around. So I'm not necessarily super excited about it, but it is a pretty amazing car. Finally, in winter, what we have is the Mustang RTR S5, which will be available in the Ford Cup. Although there is a rare piece of clothing that will also be available in winter, this being the unimpressed round glasses. This will be the first chance opportunity to get your hands on it. It's actually currently one of the rarest clothing items in the game. You'll be able to pick that up from the Snowball Fighters Seasonal Championship. Then we move on into spring for the finale, and we have our 50% completion reward being a crappy Forza Edition. This time being the Caterham R500 Forza Edition. Not really rare, not really expensive, nothing really to write home about. The 80% completion reward is pretty dope, though. It is the TVR Tuscon. This was made available via the festival playlist not too terribly long ago, alongside the TVR Griffith. So if you guys did not pick up the Tuscon back then, this will be a great time to pick it up. It shares a lot of design language with the TVR Cigaris. Then we move into the seasonal co-op trial, where you'll be able to pick up an absolutely brand new car that I am super excited about. This is the Jeep Wrangler Deberti design. Honestly, this thing is absolutely amazing. It's rocking out with a Hellcat engine. It's very American looking, just in time for the 4th of July. Although, actually, this is going to be like the middle of July when this car comes out. So that does kind of suck. It'd be nice if we were actually getting it this week. If they would have put this up here in summer, you know, it's got an American flag on it. It's got stars on it. It is definitely a piece of Americana. It looks freaking amazing. I can't wait to drive this thing. It rocks out with a Hellcat motor too, which puts it in competition with the Trailcat. There's only one Trailcat that was ever built. I guess this kind of makes it two. Then we move on into our MR Seasonal Championship with the Ferrari Dino as the reward. Not a very expensive Ferrari. You can pick one up in the auto show. And then finally we have this Sacre Bleu Seasonal Championship, where you can pick up another kind of crappy Forza Edition in the form of the Renault 5 Turbo Forza Edition. Again, not very expensive, nothing really to write home about. Just another Forza Edition. If you don't already have it, it's probably a pretty good one for you, but Again, like I said, these are a dime a dozen in the auction house. You can pick them up all day, every day, for almost nothing. So now that we've talked about all the seasons, let's go ahead and talk about the Horizon story. Normally I wouldn't talk about Horizon stories, but this one is a little special because it's basically a mini DLC. That's how cool this thing is. It is the brand new Top Gear Horizon story. Now, we've had Horizon stories in the past before, and you would get a car that's already in the game, maybe upgraded, you know, something that was already exclusive to begin with. Well, in this one, that's not going to happen. Instead, you're getting 3 brand new exclusive cars out of this Horizon story, and that has got me excited. They even got Chris Harris to voice act for this thing. That's how freaking amazing it is. But right now, let's go ahead and talk about the first car, which is the Tractor. If you guys remember earlier this week, everyone was flipping out because the Tractor was on the cover of the thumbnail for Forza Monthly. I decided not to make a video on this. I was tired, I was busy, didn't have enough time to sit down and do it. I was working on all the live streams and all that sort of stuff. But the Tractor is coming. It is the world record breaking attempt at the world's fastest tractor. I believe they actually did break it at 85 miles per hour. But since then, it has been broken again. Honestly, though, this thing is freaking dope. I cannot wait to drive this. I've actually driven a tractor in real life. You know, I don't know too many people that can actually say that other than, like, farmers. I'm not a farmer, but, like, you know, I've had to plow fields. I planted trees. I've done all kinds of things on a tractor before. So I'm actually really excited to see how this thing handles in-game. Then we move on into the next car, which is actually the one that I'm kind of the most excited about. I know some people are going to be more excited about the third car. I'm leaving that one for the end. But this one is a custom Mercedes E350D estate car. Honestly, I am in love with this thing. They're calling it the All-Terrain Project EAT. Or I'm just going to call it the Project 8 from now on. This thing was so crazy. It's basically a lifted Mercedes-Benz E350D with a roof rack on it, and it's built to go off-road. They built this thing to go take pictures of bears in the middle of the woods. And there are so many interesting things when you look at this car. It actually has a working trip meter. If you drive in first-person mode on this and you look at the dash, the trip meter actually works. So it'll tell you how far you've actually driven with this car. And I think that is pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's going to reset every time you get in and out of it, but that I thought was honestly amazing. The other really interesting thing that most people may not notice just looking at it is if you look at the front windscreen, there's actually a spoiler on the front windscreen. And supposedly this was to try and redirect air over top of the roof rack because roof racks are noisy. So they were trying to get a lot of air to go over it and not make as much noise. Apparently it didn't work though, so yeah, it's still fairly noisy. We'll see if they actually got that like whimper noise or not in the game. I hope they didn't. I really, really hope they didn't. Everyone's been complaining about like car noises. Well, now you're going to get roof rack whimpers. Oh, that would suck. That would really, really suck. But then we move on into the final vehicle, and this is the one that most people are going to be very excited about, and that is the Mercedes-Benz 6x6. I've had this car on a list for a very long time. I'm sure you guys have had this car on a list for a very long time. In fact, they've actually been working on this car since Horizon 2. Horizon 2, my dudes. The reason why it's taken so long to get it in here is apparently all the mechanics and everything like that that the game runs on basically means that the cars have to mostly have 4 wheels. There's a couple exceptions, but this car, they had to put in so much time and effort to get the suspension just right for a 6x6 vehicle that now that it's done, it kind of opens the door for a whole bunch of other possibilities. There's a bunch of other 6x6 trucks out there, especially made by Hennessy. There is the Chevrolet Silverado 6x6 and a Ford Raptor 6x6. And I want to see if those things will ever make it into the game. But apparently they had to work on the suspension quite a bit to get it to work. But now it's done and the 6x6 is here. So the last thing that I want to talk about is these new star card rewards. If you guys remember in the last series, they introduced these new star cards. Basically, what will happen is as you progress through the game, you can start to unlock these star cards by essentially completing everything. The more you complete, the more star cards you win. You can actually go ahead and look at your progress under the star cards section. I believe it's underneath the creative hub. I'm not entirely sure though. But honestly, there was really nothing to it at the point. You would get this like weird like gamer tag flare, and I didn't really care about that. I already got the VIP flare. I didn't really care about these star card flares or whatever. Well, now there's a reason to care because there are two reward cars that basically haven't been available since and are super rare at the moment. Because the first one was only made available via a seasonal championship, and on top of that, it was a PvP drag championship. And when I said that, a lot of you guys probably just went, "Oh, I hated that thing." Well, you're going to finally be able to get the Hot Wheels Rip Rod absolutely free, and it's going to be available to everybody for completing the PR Stunt Superstar Star Card. That's right, you're going to finally be able to pick up the Hot Wheels Rip Rod. But on top of that, what other car has not made a comeback for a very long time? It was available the first series here in Horizon 4 and has not been seen since. Well, the car I'm talking about is the Ferrari 812 Superfast and is going to be able to be unlocked by completing the Story Superstars Star Card. That's right, everybody is finally going to be getting access to the 812 Superfast. Honestly, I was wondering when they were going to bring it back. I thought it'd been long enough that, basically bringing it back, it wasn't going to hurt anything. People have had them for so long. Everybody's been wanting this car to come back. Well, finally, everyone gets the chance to get it. Everybody gets the chance to be happy and get this car, and that makes me pretty freaking excited. Other rewards that are going to come out of these star cars is the gold chicken suit, the black chicken suit, and the gold Viking helmet, which apparently was originally going to be meant for special community members. So I've never seen a gold Viking helmet before, so it's a brand new cosmetic item. Who really cares? But honestly, that's pretty dope, and I'm excited. But now, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. So if you guys want to, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know which car are you guys most excited about with this series update. Are you excited for one of the brand new cars like the Mercedes 6x6 or the 2013 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Deberti design? Or are you more excited about getting your hands on one of the exclusive cars that's been in the game for so long but just been so hard to obtain, like the Hot Wheels Rip Rod or the Ferrari 812? Leave a comment down below as I'm curious to hear what you guys got to say. As well, if you guys want to, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at twitter.com/curve413 and instagram.com/curve413. And if you guys like this video, go make sure to hit that like button down below for us, because you guys already know your support is so greatly appreciated. And make sure to subscribe for more videos coming out all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out. Bye.